This week on the Dude Absolutely podcast, Alex goes all reading rainbow in this bitch. Chris discovers a disturbing shelf. We pay our respects to guitar god Eddie Van Halen. Nas gets mentioned because, of course. Breasts are deployed in an orange Julius. I got some fresh brought to you guys and some comfy prems.
Dude. Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, absolutely.
God, I love your socks.
Thanks, dude.
I think I say that every time I see these ones specifically.
Yeah. Do you know what they are?
It's Mother Mary.
Yeah, but you know what they are?
She's in Florida.
No, it's Mary Jane.
Oh.
I realized that way
Those
too
are
late.
Terrible weed plants.
I know, but that's like the
palm
it's
trees.
it's the play on like Mary Jane.
Ah.
Yeah, I love these socks. They're like my favorite. Yeah, I wore them to work one time because I didn't realize what they were, and then my buddy at work was like, "Dude, is that weed? Is that supposed to be weed?" And I was like, "I fucking guess."
I thought Mother Mary was just in Florida.
Well, she's also in toast sometimes too.
Ah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey guys, how you sleeping?
Good. How you sleeping?
Dude, I've been...
Actually, I'm not sleeping good. I lied.
Oh.
Keep going.
Well, I had some trouble sleeping the other night, but for the most part, like this week, I've been like trying to make a conscious effort to like drink less before bed, sleep earlier, or go to sleep earlier and wake up earlier, and it's actually working. It's fucking awesome.
Nice.
Like, I feel like accomplished when I wake up in the morning.
I've been creating again, so I've been making those designs, right?
Yeah.
I'll put up the rollerblader, and then I made one of Kalila, and now I'm making one of my friend Riley, and it's the best one I've done.
Oh fuck.
Like,
yeah.
I know, like the one I did of Kim and I when we started the Not So Anonymous was pretty good.
Yeah.
A lot of work. This one of Riley is like, I can't fucking wait to show you guys.
Hell yeah.
Put that one up here.
Super excited. That's awesome.
So, but the downside is,
Now you're right.
yeah, I look at the clock and I'm like, 9:30, plenty of time.
Right.
I look again, 12:30. I'm like, fuck, I
Right.
haven't taken my sleep meds.
Right.
I can't sleep without my sleep meds.
Right.
And then my doctor today was like, I can't refill your Wellbutrin until you have another appointment. And I was like, what? Fuck. And then I quit vaping. I threw my vape away. And it was this is a lot.
Yeah. Did you just come?
I did.
Okay.
But it was a stress come.
So nice. I started reading again. That helps me fall asleep like that. I've always loved reading. Like, I'm a big Stephen King fan ever since. Actually, there's a little story.
You read Stephen King before bed?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Dude, it's not all scary. Everyone thinks that everything he does is scary. It's like they're all thrillers. Like they're like sometimes in the books they get your blood pumping. But like there are books that are fucking terrifying by him, but I'm not reading those before bed. But I've been reading this series called The Gentleman Bastards, which this is gonna be a stretch, so fucking bear with me. Have you guys seen Peaky Blinders?
I've watched one episode.
Okay, have you seen Peaky Blinders, Mario? Okay. Have you guys seen Game of Thrones?
All of it.
Okay. So picture, I know it's not a real era of time, but neither is the Gentleman Bastards book. It's actually in like a different universe than the universe we're in now.
Have you seen Carnival Row?
No.
The Orlando Bloom and
No.
what's her name? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Keep going.
Okay, so
I think it might describe what you're talking about.
Gentleman Bastards is basically a perfect hybrid of Peaky Blinders and Game of Thrones, where like there's the sort of primitive aspect. There are still like towns and whatever, but there's like bards and whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's that era, I guess. And then they're a gang of thieves, basically. And it's similar to like how the book It is written, where like you're getting a like kind of a dual perspective, where like you read about when they're kids and when they're adults.
Okay.
And each part, like each chapter, switches back and forth between when they're kids and when they're adults. And so, like, you get this. I have not seen that. No. Is it good?
It's really good.
Okay, I'll check it out.
But it's like Sherlock Holmes meets Game of Thrones. I feel like, even though I haven't seen Game of Thrones.
Fuck yeah. So anyway, the Gentleman Bastard series, sorry. You have the shortest legs on earth. How are you? Okay.
You know, it's funny. Kim didn't believe that you were 6'3" last week.
Why?
I know, that's what I said.
I've never understood that when people are like, how tall are you? And you're like, 6'3", and they're like, no. And you're like, why the fuck would I make that up? What is it, fucking basketball tryouts up the street? Like, why would I lie about that? Like, when you're
for the Tinder profile.
When you're 10, you lie, you know? Somebody's like, how tall are you? You're like, 6 foot. They're like, okay, you're 4'10", but all right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, keep going.
So anyway, the Gentleman Bastard series is, like I said, it's in like kind of that dual time period sort of thing. But it's the most, in my opinion, the most like brilliant conception of a story like ever. This kid is an orphan, right? And he gets purchased by, instead of getting sent to the gallows as an orphan, which is how they do it in this town. This town, it's called Comore, is basically like how I would picture like a Paris or a Venice or something. So there's like canals everywhere, but there's like parts of the city are really like shitty. Some of the parts of the city are like where all the wealthy people are, whatever. And they use canals to get around and horses.
Have you watched Inhumans?
No.
Damn it.
So he's a kid, and he gets purchased by this guy who basically purchases all the orphans, and then they live underground in like these like catacombs, basically, and then that's where they sleep and eat. But then at night, they all wake up and they all have their duties to go out and steal. Oh, and then they all bring back their money, whatever. It's kind of like in the movie. Kind of like in the movie Solo, when in the very beginning, when they all go back to the lady, or like the giant fucking worm thing. Yeah. And then, they're bringing their loot back, and then that's how they earn their money, or earn their food, earn their bed.
There's a bunch of...
Right.
Yeah.
So there's that sort of thing. So he's 5 years old, but he's too good at stealing. And he's drawing too much attention to the kids. So the guy's like, I'm either going to fucking kill you or somebody else is going to buy you. So I'm going to bring you to this guy. His name's Father Chains. And he might take you at his... There's like the 13 gods. So there's like 13 different churches. And Father Chains is at this particular church. And he's a blind man. And he sits out front of the church and he begs for money. That's how he makes all his money. So he goes there, and this blind guy is like, sounds like you've been in trouble. And he's like, yeah, I'm 5. And then... So then Father Chains is like, well, you better not be trouble for me, but we're going to keep you alive. And then he's like, okay. So they go inside, and Father Chains like takes his blindfold off, takes his cuffs off. He's like, takes his chains off. Yeah. And he's like, all right, so this isn't actually a church. This is the most underground thieves guild in the entire town of Comore. And we're like, there's like all thieves guilds, like everywhere there's fucking thieves guilds. Okay. And he's like, you will become the most elite thief in this city. And then there's like 2 other orphans that show up. They're like twins. And they're like, we'll teach you everything. And then this other orphan gets brought into the fold, and another orphan gets brought into the fold, and it's the 5 of them. It's like John Wick, Assassin's Creed, and Peter Pan all rolled into... Sure, yeah. And the Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. Yeah! Yeah, so that's them as kids. And then as adults, you find out Father Change is long dead, but this thieves guild of theirs... The Gentleman Bastards is fucking running everything, but nobody knows who they are. Yeah. It's like they're the most underground. So like they're running, basically they're doing like an entire, I don't know what you would even call it. Like they'll do like a full job on somebody. A heist? Yeah, but it's not a heist. It's like literally they like get to know the person, and they like go in costume and like all this shit, and then they... a con. Yeah, they do a full con on somebody and then take all of their money. And it's like all these rich people, and then they just go back underground. And they've got like a room filled with gold and jewels that they just sit on because they have nothing to do with it, because they can't be known by anybody. So there's like this whole thing. So the first book is kind of about the city of Comore. The second book is about a different city, and then this third book is about who's that actor with the giant nose?
He's in Wes Anderson films, like the Darjeeling Limited.
Pianist guy.
John Torturo?
No. He has it's a monstrous schnozzles. He was in Kong.
Oh, Adrian Brody?
Adrian Brody.
Yeah. So they've talked. The reason I bring this up is because they talked about making it a show and somebody bought it. Somebody at Columbia, some smaller studio that's owned by Columbia, bought it, but they're not doing anything with it. And there's like a lot of people, like the author Scott Lynch is like advocating for it to become a show. It is, you guys, straight up the greatest story ever told. Like I know that's super dramatic and it's classic me to hyperbolize something to that extent, but it is. They are my favorite books ever. They are
awesome.
so fucking good, and like all the characters have like their own. Like it's a real personality. It's not just like a book personality where you're like, I get to know them enough, but the story is what drives it. It's like the story doesn't mean anything in these books. It's like the characters drive it entirely. It's beautiful. It's like how Star Wars and how Lord of the Rings, how those like the characters are what cling to you.
Have you seen Brothers Bloom?
No.
If you like that book, you would fucking love this movie.
Okay.
It's incredible.
I'll check it out.
So underrated, underappreciated.
Dude, I'm down for anything that compels me like this book does. It's one of those where like you design, you create for 3 hours. I could read this book for hours and not realize.
Because you are kind of creating. You do have to
build. Yeah, you have to build these images in your head, but the imagery is so like deep in these books. And like the friendship that you feel like they're real people. You know, you feel like you're watching friends do something. It's incredible. It's so good. Oh, I could talk for hours about this book.
But that's awesome.
It's fantastic.
What was it called again?
The Gentleman Bastards series.
Bastards.
The first one is called The Lies of Locke Lamora. The second one, Locke Lamora is the main character.
Oh, okay.
The second one is called Red Seas Under Red Skies. And then the third one is called...
I have red dots in my thighs.
You got chicken pox or
herpes?
I was gonna say or the purple herpes.
Can I get my headphones up just a smidge? I know I'm being a whiny bitch.
Such a douche.
I know. That's perfect. Thank you.
I don't know what the third one is, but I forget what it's called.
The Republic of Thieves.
Yeah, the Republic of Thieves. That's
nice.
What it is. Yeah.
Thanks, Mara.
Yep. Thank you, Mara. Yeah, it's fantastic. I'm telling you right now, you will not regret reading them if you do. And I know you're not a big book guy, but
I'm trying to read it. I need to finish Rivers of Eden. It's a fantasy, like early times America in the Dakotas.
Okay.
And it's like a thriller, and there's elements of magic to it. And some taboo shit.
Hell yeah.
The author Rachel Levy, the words that she uses, I haven't been excited about reading something since she fucking sent me this thing. The way that she describes things, like you can feel the humidity in when she's describing this shit.
Right.
It's like Dan Brown was the last author that I was excited about and was reading his shit.
Yeah.
But then he just does the same fucking thing over and over again. So
and that's so I did that series, or I'm doing the Gentleman Bastard series, and then there was another one before. Can you look up A Wise Man's Fear for me? It's for part of that series. That's the second book in that series. The third one is yet to be released.
A Wise Man's Fear is one in the rear.
What's the series called?
The King Killer Chronicle?
Yeah. That one is fucking awesome too. It's literally like a guy who's like an innkeeper.
I feel like you didn't appreciate my joke.
I didn't.
Oh.
I didn't hear it.
Oh, okay.
What'd you say?
You said it's called A Wise Man's Fear?
Yeah.
I said, a wise man's fear is one in the rear.
That's really good.
Thanks.
That is funny. I'm sorry.
Bleep out.
What?
I just told myself to bleep out.
Why?
Because I'm going to keep saying it and then it'll keep bleeping.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
But then keep the rear parts. People will be like, is it? I don't. What's the word?
And then I'll bleep that part out, so nobody will know what the fuck's going on.
Oh, I love it. So that series is also really good. It's like an innkeeper, is like he's this humble young innkeeper, whatever. And then one day this guy shows up and he's a fucking chronicler. So he like writes down people's stories and then sells them in books.
Okay.
And he's like the most famous chronicler ever. And he's like,
I
that's
feel like that's not the right word.
No, that's literally what they call it in the in the series.
But what is that word?
Well, orator is somebody who like reads people's things. I don't know. It's
But now, my brain just had like that
yeah.
brain
The
block.
guy's name is the Chronicler.
Okay.
in the books.
I gotcha.
So the guy he's like the most famous of his kind, and he shows up and he's like, I fucking knew you were here. And he's like, oh, damn it. What? And he's like, I need your story. And he's like, I'm not telling I don't have a story. And he's like, I know who you are and you have the greatest story ever told. And he's like, fine, I'll tell you my story, but it goes by my rules. And then like, you fucking get the story. And his life is
Wait, is this interview
insane.
with a vampire?
It's close. Drew Barrymore is in it, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I forgot that Drew Barrymore. No, not
Sorry, Kirsten Dunst.
No,
Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah, no, Drew Barrymore's in a vampire show, though. She's in that, like the vampire. Yeah, it's the one on Netflix. It was like...
Are you talking about the Santa Clarita Diet?
Yeah.
She's a zombie.
Oh, I haven't watched it.
Get your fucking facts straight, guy.
I thought she was a vampire.
So are you mainly into fiction?
Yeah, fiction.
Okay.
Like, I really like thrillers, and I like fantasy fiction.
I feel like you're taking notes. Like, okay, he's into fiction.
I was honestly curious.
Yeah, that's for the most part.
I just liked
that's what
the
I read.
cadence that you had. I liked it.
I don't read almost any nonfiction at all. I think of books as an escape, not as a lesson. And then you can form your own lesson while you're reading into the escape. You know, it's like, oh, there's some moral integrity to this story. I can actually glean something from this, as opposed to like being...
Good use of glean.
Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm super horny, so so I'm all.
Do you have
fired up on words.
antihistamine?
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Popped myself a Claritin. I actually did. So anyway, yeah, dude. I mean, check that book out. But I don't know why. Classic me, just going on like a full blown diatribe about something that like has no bearing. But I'm telling you, you got to read those books. They're so good.
We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah,
First
we do.
of all,
super excited. to
Van
talk about some
Halen.
shit. I know.
Rip.
Yeah, I've been listening to him for the last couple of days.
What was his name? Eddie Vedder?
Yes, Eddie Vedder. So after he left Van Halen, he started
Nirvana.
No, actually, Soundgarden. He started Soundgarden.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. So he started Soundgarden, and then he moved on and was the lead singer for the Foo Fighters.
They sing that Chicka Cherry Cola song, right?
I think so. Or is that The Offspring?
Ooh, I want you, I know if I knew. Double Cherry Cola.
Oh no. That's
Eiffel 55.
That's what's that? What's that?
Is that really them?
No.
What's that band with? What was the band with?
Savage Garden.
Oh no, with Gwen Stefani.
No doubt.
Yeah. Now, No Doubt actually did that song first, and then it was a cover by Savage Garden.
What?
Yeah.
No way is that true.
I'm fucking, of course, making all of this up. I thought this was a bit.
I remember listening to it on the school bus, and I was like, just fucking being super gay. Just gonna say it. I'm flailing about, loving it, and somebody was like, "Oh my God, you like Savage Garden?" And I was like, "No, I like Soundgarden." Even though I'm dancing to this song,
Right.
And they're just like, whatever. That's all I remember is somebody saying, "Oh my God, you like Savage Garden?" And even though I was dancing, said, "No, I like Soundgarden."
That's funny.
This is a joke.
When I was like 12, I was like jamming out to an Eric Clapton song,
Yeah.
and I was getting made fun of by my brother. It was on the bus because we were listening to it on the bus.
Did you push a kid off the bus?
No, I just really like that
Was he
song.
like, "How come you're not listening to Guns N' Roses and masturbating with Elmer's glue like me?" I imagine that
Dude,
your
that'd
brother
be
masturbated with
horrifying.
Elmer's glue.
You would circumcise yourself with every stroke.
Have you ever seen your brother's penis?
Yeah.
Ouch.
Did he ever pierce? Did he pierce his dick?
Anyway, Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What a shredder.
Yeah.
Yeah. How old was he?
65.
65.
Oh shit, that's it.
Throat
Yeah.
cancer.
Oh fuck, man.
Yeah. Well, another reason not to smoke cigarettes, but I actually have a Van Halen story.
Man, we need to have a Patreon because I want to do an episode dedicated to vaping versus cigarettes.
Is this like
Okay.
a contest? Because vaping clearly
No,
wins.
I worked at a vape an
He's
e-juice
got a-
manufacturer, and I have hours of discussion on why smoking is worse than vaping, and no, vaping is not healthy. That's the biggest thing. Is everyone's like
Like it has
everyone's-
B12 in it or something.
well, everyone says like the argument against vaping is that people who do vape claim that it's good for you. It's like, no, it's
Who
like,
the fuck claims?
no, that's what like there's like the people who say like it's bad for you. I don't know why everyone acts like it's harmless. It's like we know it's not harmless. It's like harm reduction.
right.
It's like if you smoke cigarettes, you're putting yourself in harm's
All right,
way.
save it for the Patreon.
Yeah, right. So anyway, yesterday was a really sad day for me because of the Eddie Van Halen thing. Growing up, my dad and I used
Did he wrote Panama, right?
I mean, Van Halen did Panama. I don't know if he wrote it. I don't know who wrote it.
But he was the one that performed that one, right? Because
Yeah.
that was before what's his dick got in there.
No, David Lee Roth was the lead singer,
David Lee Roth.
and then Sammy Hagar was the lead singer. Eddie Van Halen and Alex Van Halen started the band, and then David Lee Roth joined them.
Oh,
David Lee
that-
Roth was already in a band. So were they. They were both in different bands, and then they met each other like at a festival or a party or something. And they were like, we should work together. And then, so like after 1984, the album just like blew up. They toured the world, and then David Lee Roth like wanted to take a hiatus and do like solo projects, and then they were like trying to write their next album, and David Lee Roth was like not around for it, and so Eddie and Alex like kicked David Lee Roth out of the band.
Yeah,
And-
see, that's why I thought he wrote.
Yeah, and then they replaced him with Sammy Hagar, who was like literally a Van Halen fanboy.
Yeah, I don't like him.
Yeah, he's terrible. But he has like one song that's
I don't think he's terrible.
I mean,
he's not good.
if I saw him in a Walmart, I would go.
You would go, you definitely shop here.
So his personality,
Is unlikable.
very unlikable.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
That's like he's got a perm and bleached hair. Like he bleached and permed his hair.
I saw him on I think he was on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives.
Oh, I'm sure he was.
It was just a terrible combination.
Oh, I was gonna
of
say
human
like I'm sure he and Guy Fieri are just
Yeah.
the best. I will fucking die on the Guy Fieri hill though. I love that guy.
Yeah.
But you looked like you were about to vomit when I said that. I love him. God, one-way ticket to Flavortown. That man. But yeah, Sammy Hagar, not a fan of him.
I like
but,
you said fanboy, but he was literally like 40 when he joined the band.
Yeah, but he was like he loved the band.
Sure, it's just
And he was like
it sounds funny to me.
Yeah, apparently he did like covers of their music, like at his shows. Like he would do covers of Van Halen, and then they were like, "Well, you can fucking sing the stuff." So
That's like that Filipino kid joining Journey.
right. That's actually a really good point. But that Filipino kid is a kid, and Sammy Hagar was
That's true.
a dad.
Plus,
but-
that Filipino kid had to have sex with everybody in Journey.
Talk about a journey.
Favorite Van Halen song?
Ooh,
Okay, you don't have to do favorite, just the first one that jumps in your mind.
Panama.
Top Jimmy.
What was it?
Top Jimmy. That was
Wow.
my story about Van Halen. It was my favorite song ever growing up because we had a Jimmy, the car. So
Jimmy
like,
Carr?
the GMC Jimmy. And so I thought it was so cool when I was like 4 years old that we would listen to Top Jimmy and the Jimmy. And I thought that song was incredible. So my dad would turn it on every time we got in the car because I loved it so much.
Would you ever go, Top Jimmy?
I don't, maybe not like that. But like after learning about the Timur thing, yeah, probably. But then, my dad went on a trip like 7 years ago. I don't fucking know. It was longer than that. But, he actually went by himself just to like go kind of find himself. He was not doing so hot, whatever.
Did some peyote.
Yeah, probably not, but maybe.
Oh my God.
But so he had a blog, and it was like a public blog, but like nobody he didn't write it so that people would read it. He wrote it because he wanted to just like write down his thoughts every day. And every day he did a song of the day. And then one day after it had been like 3 weeks or whatever, and I hadn't spoken to him, the song of the day was Top Jimmy. And he like wrote this little blurb about me and like how proud of me he was. It was like this super Like that song means more to me than just about every song ever written.
Wow, man.
What,
So,
what
like-
album's it on?
It's on 1984.
Okay.
It's like, I think in the list of songs it comes right after Ice Cream Man, but I'm not sure. Dude, put the mic down there if you're gonna shred that much ass.
What are you talking about?
You just blew the seat out of your fucking.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I think I was just stretching.
yeah, that's that. But then like Running with the Devil and
Great song.
yeah, that song rips.
I remember. I think Right Now.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that song, and I was like, I think I was like 8 when that song came out or
Yeah.
whatever, and that was like my first song that I liked by them. And I didn't really listen to them that much, and then I heard when I was a teenager, I heard "Hot for Teacher."
Oh yeah,
And that I was just like, oh my god, this is that band
Yeah.
that did
that
Right
is a
Now.
fucking
This
good song.
Rip, like it shreds so hard.
Yeah.
And then of course Eruption like blew my mind. Like
Right.
that was like the first time I heard like someone playing like that.
Right.
It's just wild. Yeah.
I got ridiculed at school one time because these kids, they were like so I was never in a group. Ever
Clique?
in school. Yeah. I was like always the amoebus kid that could just kind of sit with anyone, because like I didn't want to be in a clique.
Sure.
And so one day I was sitting with the fucking emo guitar player kids, that were like also still in band, so they like weren't really, they were the primo kids, the
Okay.
preppy emo kids.
I gotcha.
And one of them was like, "Who's the greatest guitar player of all time?" And then the other one was like, "Jimmy Page. It's not even close." And I was like, I like Jimmy Page a lot, but I would probably say Eddie Van Halen. And they were like, "He fucking sucks." And I was like, "You can climb that mountain of shit that you're building and fucking plummet to your death. Are you kidding me?" I was so mad. They were like, everything he does, he learned from Jimmy Page. I'm like, well, he created an entirely new way to play guitar. So that's why he would literally not face the crowd when he was doing his solos at shows, because he didn't want other artists to see.
Really?
Eddie Van Halen would do that.
Wow.
He literally would hide his guitar because he didn't want people to see what he was doing.
Holy shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Isn't that wild?
That is insanely wild.
Right. And I forget what his name is, but the guitarist for Black Sabbath was
Tony
more...
Iommi.
Oh,
Tony
yeah,
Iommi.
yeah.
I feel like he was more influential on metal, like Van Halen and those
God,
guys,
that guy was
than
a
Jimmy
beast.
Page was. Didn't he like get his?
Yeah, but
didn't
Jimmy
he get, like,
Page
his
like
revolutionized guitar
Yeah,
playing?
yeah.
But it's in the same way that Hendrix did.
that's true.
Like they
created this yearning to how people wanted to figure out how the fuck this was happening.
Right.
So then that bred all of these
Right.
guitar players.
Well, it
from
was
there.
really like blues playing did that. Because what happened with blues playing was like prior to like rock and roll really getting like more influence from stuff like blues, it was the guitar was meant almost entirely as like a rhythm instrument. It was like the vocals and the lyrics and like the sort of swing melody to the song was like the guitar was an accompaniment to the rest of the band.
Yeah.
And then like when blues influences started to make their way into rock, so like through Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin and whatever, and a lot of people say Led Zeppelin like stole a lot of their,
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I mean, they don't even hide, like, you watch that documentary,
rock and roll.
What was that?
is
What
like
was it called? Was it Rockabilly? They like almost directly copied. It's a very, very unique sound that was very niche. That they
Is it that James
completely
Brown song?
copied. No. This was they were a part of almost like, I don't want to say Star Search, like early, like in the 60s there was this like music contest, I want to say.
Okay.
And they got featured for doing this very specific type of music.
Oh,
It was
okay.
very odd.
Okay. And they copied that, you're saying?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because they were doing it in America, and I
Yeah.
want to say that it was. Do you know what I'm talking about, Mara? Did you ever see the Legends of Guitar, or it was Jack White, Jimmy Page?
It might get loud.
It might this might get loud. Yeah. So in This Might Get
I
Loud,
remember that.
they show this early footage of the guys in oh my god, we were just Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
And it's this, I keep saying rockabilly, but that's not it. It's
Well, whatever it is.
but it was weird as fuck. But it was blues influenced, and
Right.
I don't know if it was Jimmy Page, but one of the band members said like, yeah, they're doing this in America, and now we're doing it.
Oh, that makes sense. It was like they were the first to do it over there, but then there was the British invasion, and they brought all their shit over here.
Yeah,
and then everyone was like, "Is that what's the name of that band?" And they're like, "Who?" And they're like, "Yeah, that's." And they're like, "What?" And they're like, "No." They're like, "Who?" Yes.
Baba Yaga.
What?
Yes.
What?
Damn it.
No. Huh? No. Who? Yes. Okay, the joke's over.
What's going on over there, Yardbirds?
That band sucked.
Ah! How dare you? I fucking love the
They're
Yardbirds.
super influential, I get it, but it's just not my speed.
I don't know if I'd say influential, but I loved their
But
music.
they influenced.
For your love.
See, but like, okay, so that like, where somebody was once in this and then became something else in another
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Actually, Mike Brody had a post about that the other day that was really cool. But
Like
I didn't
the
post
Beach
on
Boys?
it. Well, it was like name somebody who was in one band and then was in another band that was like equally famous, and it wasn't just because they were famous from the first band. And so there was it was a really cool post. But anyway, all the comments were amazing.
That's interesting.
So
any that come to mind? Because obviously, Dave Grohl going from Nirvana to
Yes.
Foo Fighters,
right, and so, there were a few that I really liked, but I didn't really I don't know, I didn't appreciate all of the artists, you know.
You know what's a good one? Fucking shit. Who's that guy that sang oh, then you really might know what it's like. What it's like.
I know the song.
Then you really might know what it's like.
Yeah, I don't actually know. So the one that I would have said, and I didn't actually comment on it, was Ginger Baker.
Everlast.
Yeah.
That dude was in House of Pain. Sorry.
Thanks, Mark. And
then, so like they had Jump Around.
Yep.
And then he went on to do What It's Like.
See, and that's so he said like a non-solo artist sort of thing, because that would be like they used their fame from the original group to become a solo artist.
See, but he didn't do that because he was not like the front guy in that band.
In Everlast or in
House of Pain.
House of Pain.
And so like, and he didn't use his group name.
Well, maybe, I don't know.
I was gonna say I didn't know that until you just said it.
I mean, Mike had some stipulations on it that I can't really remember.
Okay.
But like a lot of people said, like basically, like Chris Cornell from Audio Slave and Soundgarden, you know. But then like they were all Audio Slave was like also kind of a super group.
I was gonna say that was a super
so it's
group.
like, but then
what was Mos Def and
Talib Kweli, but
Yeah.
oh my god, I know. I literally have their album on my.
Is it
fucking phone.
Mobstar?
No, it's Black Star.
Black Star. There we go.
That group. Or they only have one album, but that album is so good.
A couple of years ago, they said they were going to do it again. I must have spread my drop a phone in this.
I know. But for me, I wanted to be like hipster and cool and just like name somebody that like not a lot of people know. But then I was like, don't be a douche. Like just read these comments. It'll be fun.
But be a douche now.
But I was gonna say Ginger Baker because he was in Cream and he was in Blind Faith, and all this to say, Your Yardbirds is like Cream for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because like Cream influenced them getting together for Blind Faith, and Blind Faith was like Steve Winwood and Ginger Baker and Clapton, and like, you know, that they were all their own thing at the time, and then they came together for this awesome
Could
group.
you find a way to integrate Nas into this conversation?
I've been actively trying not to, and you mentioned most definite. So like, if I had to, I would say, well, what Nas was in the Firm, but he like started the Firm, and that was like Foxy Brown and Cormega. And,
Oh yeah.
They
wow.
they have one album, and it was actually produced by Dre, which is why the beats on the Firm,
shit.
the Firm Volume 1 or whatever it's called. is the actual like music on it is so fantastic. It's like Phone Tap is like such a fucking awesome song on that album. I love like getting super passionate about this stuff because like I look like a guy who like listens to fucking J-Beebs only and like some Shawn Mendes.
You do look like Shawn Mendes. Actually, that's funny. You do seem like you would enjoy some Shawn Mendes.
Yeah, I do.
Do you?
But
No.
you know, with
I've
your
never- I
comedy,
don't know if I've ever
sometimes
heard
you
a song
have
by him.
people in stitches.
Is that his song?
Stitches.
Oh yeah, I've never. Heard it.
But I was gonna say you look like a guy who is very knowledgeable about music. Actually,
Well, thank
the
you.
way you carry yourself,
You look like a douche.
you look like you're stealing records all the time.
kind of do look like that. I look like I could get away with it.
Oh, you want to hear something embarrassing?
Yeah.
Talking about body shapes.
Did you pee on your nutsack because your dick was too cold?
No.
Oh, okay.
But what I did do, and I didn't even realize I was doing it. So I go pee pee, right? And because I wear summer dresses for shirts, I lifted my shirt up and just rested it on top of my belly. So that I wouldn't.
Like, your belly's like a TV tray.
Yeah, I went just like this, and it just stayed.
Oh no!
And then I was like, "Oh my god, that's why we're doing this weight loss challenge."
That's awesome.
I didn't have a shelf before.
Right, and now you do.
Now I got it.
So you don't even have like a number goal anymore. You have like a
I gotta get this.
shelf to get rid of.
Yeah, I
you
got
have
some
you have
fucking spring cleaning
You
to
have
do.
a hate yourself less goal now.
How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I've lost weight. I'm not.
Let's not review.
Yeah,
that.
don't
I'm
disclose.
not confident that I'm going to lose as much as I'd like, but I'm feeling better about my sleeping habits, and I've gotten some exercise, which feels good.
Hydrated.
And I've been eating smaller portion sizes. So
Perfect.
yeah,
During the day, I do fine.
it's at night.
Night.
The ghouls come after you.
Yeah.
So, not to shift gears too much, if we all had our musical feelings aired out,
Yes. Yes.
talk about Eddie.
Rest in peace, Eddie.
Yeah. R.I.P. to Eddie.
Yeah.
I just want to say that like
Two in the thoughts, one in the prayers.
he's like one of those players where it's like he doesn't play guitar. It's like an extension of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's
You
a-
can't, like
There was an article that was like it was the top 50 guitar players of all time, and when they got to Mike Einzinger from Incubus,
Oh.
they kind of referenced him and a few other people that were on the list and in the same paragraph, and then they obviously, so he was like number 48 on the list of top 50,
That's very interesting.
and then like number 20 something was Tom Morello, and then number like 5 or whatever was Eddie Van Halen. And they say in the Einzinger paragraph, it's like few players ever have had the ability to not just play the guitar, but to bend the guitar to their will.
yes.
Oh,
And
wow.
that's what sat with me. It was like, that's what Eddie Van Halen did. He's like, it's one thing, like you said, to play it. It's another thing to like make it do what you want it to do.
He
Yep.
used the force.
There's this picture, Obi-Wan Kenobi behind stage. And he's like, use the force, Eddie. And then Eddie turns around, he's fucking shreds, and there's fire coming off of it.
No, the reason why he turns is because when he shreds in a certain way, that's when the ghostly figures pop up.
All the old entities, the force.
Which, by the
all
way,
the force ghosts.
Can anybody else see those ghosts?
The force ghosts?
Yeah.
Only force sensitive beings can see force ghosts.
Okay.
Oh, that's got to be weird then. It's got to be like
So
it's like when you're talking to someone on a Bluetooth headset. Like you just look insane.
That's exactly what it is. It's so funny.
You're just like, did you just say I love you, Dad?
dude,
that's really funny.
Dude.
Oh my god.
They are the most revered guild of schizophrenics.
They kind of are, but there's actionable, like they're
there are some schizophrenics who take some action.
Well,
I
no,
know,
it's
but
a little more understandable that like people like Han Solo are skeptical of their religion. Like, yeah, you're talking to your ghost dad. Yep, gotcha.
Right. But like to refute that point, there is
That they're schizophrenic?
There is a moment when Luke Skywalker becomes a Force ghost, and he like actually can touch and pick up things.
Yeah.
So
In the books?
No.
in the movie it happens.
Oh, you're talking about in the movie.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. It's in like episode 8 or 9 or so. I think it's in 9.
Oh, The Last Jedi.
It's the one where he tricks Kylie. What's his name?
Rilo Ken.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So Kylie is going after him, and Luke's like, "Just kidding, not here."
That would have been great.
Okay.
Oh my God! By the way, that fucking video that you sent of Batman running away, Jesus Christ, that was hilarious.
Super funny. I love that.
Oh
Like
my
they definitely were like, okay, you have to run like this, and then
Well, no, isn't that? Have you? This is throwback for like days, but it's a video that's called "A Trip to the Grocery Store."
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
I haven't seen it.
I'll put that clip in here because it is. God damn it! It's so funny. If you could find it, actually, that would be amazing. Because that's exactly what it reminded me of. Was this? So it's like the first like showcase of somebody with insane CGI skills just doing it for shits and giggles. Like people do it now, like to get clout and stuff like that.
It almost looks like something you would do in school. Like, here's an animation test, but it's not for like.
But
any
they
specific...
went out and scouted out
No,
locations.
I know, but that's what I mean. It sounds like, okay, here's your job. Like, here's your assignment. Go find a location and like map a CG character so it looks like it actually fits in that environment. Do whatever you want.
That's a good
but
point.
These are your requirements for the assignment, and they're like, I'll just go absolutely insane.
That's beautiful.
I've also seen a video where someone like an actual person tries to do those
That?
same animations with their body.
Oh my God. Ooh, just the song.
I love how there's that one point where like you get the audio clarity as if you're listening, as if the song is playing outside of a car, and you're that part was great.
That fade
Great
in,
editing.
that spatial awareness in audio, I fucking love that.
Okay, so the other day, actually it was
Thanks, Mara.
today, I said I found an Instagram account that I can't wait to share with you guys. And I sent it over to Mara.
So you guys have both seen it by now.
Yeah. This is, in my opinion, the funniest Instagram account I've ever found. Because it's, well, Mara, why don't you read the first post I sent to you?
Sure. Oh, so like the account is called the Horny Police. And they basically just screenshot people on Twitter being extremely horny to a very not okay degree. And then the captions are always something like, life without possibility of parole. So then there's an example. This is actually on 4chan. In the fit category. Nice. And the subject line says salmonella in penis? Question mark. And there's a little JPEG and it's got like 2 chicken breasts there. Alright, it says, hi guys. I was cooking last night, making some chicken breasts. I had spilled some soda on my pants, so I was cooking without pants on. I was moving some trays around and I accidentally dropped a chicken breast on the floor. But it hit my penis before it hit the floor. This morning, my penis seems like it is inflamed and the pee hole hurts if I touch it. Is it possible I got salmonella poisoning? And then the first response is, you fucked those chicken breasts, didn't you? And then the next person says, you fucked the raw chicken, didn't you? And then finally, you did.
So
He absolutely fucked Roger.
yeah, so on that post, the caption was "Life without possibility of parole" for the Horny Police, and then
Okay, I got it now.
So the second one I sent, and this one, this one, the caption was, "The subject is in custody and awaiting questioning."
Okay.
It's a post on Ask Reddit with the "not safe for work" tag applied to it, meaning like don't open this at work kind of thing. Which is it's a common thing you put on stuff. The post is, "What's your most wanted sexual fantasy?" And a post from user Eskimo Explosion says, "I want to wear a strap on like a tail and do 2 women doggy style at the same time like a pendulum occasionally switching sides."
Wait,
And then the response to that is, "We're all living in 2019 and this guy's living in 3019. But there are so many posts on here.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wear strap on
Like a tail.
Like a tail.
You got
like a
the strap-
tail.
Yep. So then you got someone in front of you, and you got someone behind you.
Oh!
And then you flip around and you do it again.
Wow.
Some of these are so good, it's like hard not. I mean, it's astonishing. Some of these. I mean, it's really remarkable.
Wow.
So here I'll let's see. I'll see if I can. I'll pull up
The weird thing is, I was imagining the girl humping him doggy style.
I get what you're saying. So, like a post from today.
I actually saw, you know that massage parlor right on the main street in Monticello?
Yeah.
I've never noticed until today the design, the decal that they have on their window looks like somebody humping somebody lying on the ground.
I've never noticed that.
Yeah. Next time you drive by.
Just read the post or see the post and then read the caption.
Wait.
And it's just a bunch of shit like that. It's just a bunch of people. Oh God, it's so funny.
That is hilarious. See, that seems like a joke, what the guy did.
Right, but then there's like this post. My nudes were on Snapchat last year, so I figured I'd post them on
Oh,
here
fuck, I
too.
just realized I didn't read out loud the fucking thing.
And then like this guy comments, "It's not loading, question mark, and then follows that by replying to himself, "I tried blocking and unblocking you, it's not working." Next tweet. "Can you show me how to make the pics load?" Next tweet. "Okay, I deleted the app and then reinstalled. What's the problem?" Next tweet. "I saved the pics and tried to upload. It's still nothing." Next tweet. "Miss?" Next tweet. "I think your Wi-Fi is messed up. Try restarting the router." Next tweet. "Please?" Next tweet. "I logged into my laptop and it's still not working." This guy tweeted at her like 10 times just to get her nudes. So it's just, you're just watching guys completely throw all morality and objectivity out the window. It's very funny to me.
I'm still friends with some models, and the shit that I see people say, and when you look at these guys, I don't get what they think is gonna happen.
Right. And like
we are all aware that catcalling is no longer,
and it's so much worse to me than catcalling, because like
you're putting a stamp basically on it.
Well,
and then they have to keep looking at that.
Well, yeah, that too. What I was going to say is like it in this particular context, I guess, it's so much worse than catcalling, and in a way that's what makes it so funny, because like there's no real consequences because you can hide behind a fake alias. So like the filter is completely gone. And with catcalling, you can be like, "Nice tits," or you got a great ass. But these guys are like I would literally, there's one that says, I would swim through a river of shit to suck the last dick that was in her ass. And that's like, I mean, like, can you imagine saying that to someone on the street? Like,
That
just
is
like, ma'am, I have to tell you, you are the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. And if I may, I would, I would swim through a river of shit to suck the last dick that was in your ass.
If I may be so bold.
Like, do you honestly think that would ever work?
That blows my fucking mind.
Right. And these people are like that. I mean, it's sad in a way because it's like how you're very desperate. You know, it's hard to look at somebody like be that, but it is. Whew.
That's insane.
Whew. I feel like those people in the past were just the ones that rolled around in a trench coat.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
then like had dolls.
you have a unique. How often do people ask to see your tatas?
Mainly just because they're implants,
So it's like a curiosity,
I guess.
but it happens.
Yeah.
Is it friends?
Yeah.
Do you show them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it weird for you that people ask, or is it more like a?
Well, yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird, but I don't really care.
Okay.
I meant to ask you this last week, and I don't know why, but I was like, if I ask, I'm pretty sure she's going to be like, yeah, because it's not a sexual thing. It's a curiosity thing. And you do such a good job of not making the other person feel weird for the question that they ask. Like we talked about last week, like that's why I connect with you so much is because you do such a good job of dealing with my weird fucking shit. Then I was like, I bet you're almost like as like a teacher. Like, yes, these are tatas.
These are
Yeah, exactly.
these are boobs.
These are boobies.
I had a really weird experience with a babysitter when I was a kid where I was
I
like
thought you were going to say boobies
learning. Yeah,
with the boobies.
kind of.
Oh.
It was with a babysitter who I was like taking anatomy, like the anatomy thing in elementary school. And
Anatomy in elementary school.
well, it was like you had to name the muscle groups.
Oh,
right?
okay.
And so like we got to the pectoral muscles, and I was like, what are, like I didn't know what they were, so I was like trying to think. I'm like, and she was like, do you want a hint? And I was like, sure. You know, I'm like a kid, and she's like, they're boobs, and she like
Cupped her boobies.
yeah, and I was like, oh, I like girls, like you know what I mean, like instantly, I was like, those are cool.
I was this close to sucking Timmy's dick. Now that you've done this.
Yeah, right. This is a whole new world for me.
Oh, God damn it, that's funny. Oh, I like
I like turtles. It was just me with a face paint skeleton on.
dude, my I'm gonna bleep this part out, but my was a womanizer and like shallow and just awful. He worked at this establishment. It was in Orange Julius. And and
It's way
there's
too formal of a name for Orange Julius.
yeah. So he worked with this girl who was a little on the bigger side, and so because of that, she had large tatas.
Okay.
She had a couple extra scoops, if you know what I mean.
It's not even an ice cream shop. It's a smoothie
right.
place. You're an idiot. I
Well,
love
they
you.
did. They
I
did
know.
the scoops of the
I know.
the fruits. Anyways, so him and this other guy would ask to see her boobies like all the time, and finally she was like, "All right, if you guys will shut the fuck up, let's go in the back." And they were like, oh my god, this is awesome. And I remember him telling me like the buildup. He was like, he couldn't believe that he was finally going to get to see boobies in person.
Yeah.
So she lifts up her shirt, they drop out, and I could almost see them like that like, all right, okay, this is going to happen. And then they drop out. Oh. And then, so he says all of this. He's describing it, and he goes, a lot of veins.
What a teenage takeaway.
Yeah, he was like 18, 19.
Yeah, so naive. You're just like,
So funny.
yeah.
The first time I touched someone's boob was at a Applebee's. Because she was talking about how she got fake boobs. And then she was just like, she just offered a
hunk?
uh-huh.
Hunk, hunk.
And I'm like, wow, because I've done that. Not at Applebee's, but
You've had other people squeeze your tatas. Because it's a unique feeling.
I'm like, check these gummy bears out.
Is that like
That is the best.
That's how they get described, because they're like a gel. So if they were to tear, it'd be like tearing a gummy bear. Nothing would leak out, you know?
yeah.
So
they're not gushers, they're gummy bears.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to write your obituary, or like be able to have something scribed on your headstone, it would be, "They can't repossess your gummy bears." Is the greatest Mara quote I think of all time. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
So when she was on, she was talking about getting all these loans and things for these surgeries, and going into debt for this stuff.
Yeah, do whatever you can. Like if it's something you want to do, you can just not pay it back, because they can't repossess your gummy bears.
That's funny.
It's not
as
like
hell.
a car, you know.
So
Right,
fucking funny.
Right. That's funny as hell.
Yeah. Speaking of funny as hell,
Is it time?
it's time for the Stone of Truth.
That thing's
I'm gonna zoom in because it's German, you know.
Yes, because Stein.
You know what was in the Stein before?
That was a funny fart.
It was a funny fart. Tight pants, big dick. All right. Oh, wait. I'll grab one.
hit that with some extra Lysol.
Yeah, for sure. Dusting it off.
Carrying a bit of the stank.
Oh, man. Okay. This episode of Duty Absolutely is brought to you by the people who sell money-making secrets that charge you hundreds of dollars for their secrets, but it turns out that the real money-making secret is selling bullshit secrets to dumb people.
I liked that one.
Those are those YouTube ads.
Right.
And they're like 3 hours long.
Ty Lopez.
Which one of you wrote that? Fuck.
This episode of Dude Absolutely is brought to you by the film that builds up in the microwave when you haven't cleaned it in a while. It's so much.
You read it so nonchalantly that I almost missed it.
I know. That's why I
Everyone has
wrote.
their own unique film too.
Yeah. Every food has their own unique film.
I always think of cup of noodles.
I always think of like when you reheat like chili or something.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Mine's
you
all
get
chili
you
splatter.
get that, that splatter on there, and you're like, this is
'Cause
a
I
fucking
don't cover
crime scene now.
anything in there.
Grabs the Stein sauce.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I was distracted because Riley's coming over to grab some shirts, and we're going to talk about the wedding we're going to shoot, and then we're both going to get fucking COVID.
Oh.
That is a very sad story.
Yeah, the wedding that we're shooting is basically Sturgis. Holy shit.
This is the most.
I can't believe that this was written, because
I've never been more excited for this one than I was for this one.
this episode of Duty Absolutely is brought to you by the newest installment of Kids Bop Star Wars. Country Edition featuring galaxy-renowned recording artist Darth Brooks. Dude, this is gonna fucking blow some minds later. That was very fucking funny. Who wrote it? God damn it. I hope you get the other one.
Okay. This episode of Dude Absolutely is brought to you by Bo's Toes Pedicures. Definitely not a front for money laundering. Coupon code very normal nail salon. Coupon code very normal nail salon. Oh, that's really good. God, this Bo's thing is
It's a whole storyline that I came up with.
It's
in
a
August.
thing now. God, I'm happy about that.
Shit.
I think the season finale's next week.
What? No, it
Yeah.
can never end. Bo's
I could come back. I just
Bo's must continue.
it does. Like I wrote all of these while listening to that Dementia album.
I almost broke the Stein of Truth.
Oh, Don't do that.
It's nearly fell off because of this
the
stupid
stein
ship.
is actually.
ship in a bottle.
You know, there actually is a bunch of shit in the way. This episode of Dude Absolutely is brought to you by a pack of stray dogs leading a Guatemalan boy through the streets to overthrow the feline government.
This episode of
No acknowledgement.
This episode of Dude Absolutely is brought to you by Tommy Bayer's Dog Whistles. Our whistles have a pitch so shrill, not only will your dog hear it, everyone in a 5-mile radius will too. Tommy
Who is
Bayer.
that?
He's a comic on another show.
He's a comedian with a
Big
shrill
racist.
voice.
They talk about it on their podcast, We Cool Podcast, that you and I were on.
Yeah.
Did we ever talk about that?
I don't know.
I don't think we did. We were on their podcast, and it was a lot of fun.
It was a lot
Ryan
of fun.
Call went fucking nuts.
Yeah,
it was
he went
great.
bananas, which is very Ryan Call-esque.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
This time.
I'm getting a headache. I'm laughing so fucking much. Oh, man. This episode... This episode of Duty Absolutely is brought to you by snacking on au gratin potatoes straight out of the box. It's not great, but I'm hungry now. That sounds so unpleasant and so fucking funny.
It's not real cheese at that point. It's in a box. That is powder. Oh, that's funny. Oh.
Riley, are you out there? Yeah, come in, dude.
Are we still going?
Yeah, keep going.
This episode, I just fucking did your German voice. This episode of Dude Absolutely is brought to you by Terraforming North Dakota. What a fucking hellhole. Why go to Mars when we have North Dakota?
Exactly. The great Riley Jacob Downs, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, sir. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
You're looking sharp. Yeah. Give me the fucking Stein.
Oh,
bud.
yeah. Sorry.
It's the Stein of truth.
Okay, there we go.
So fun.
This episode of Dude Absolutely is brought to you by playing Bar with the Bar on full blast in an Arby's parking lot.
Is that the bow with the bow? This picture someone in like a 1997 Pontiac Grand Am.
I imagine like that maroon, like
Yeah, they have like their Fox racing jacket on.
oh fuck.
This episode of Dude Absolutely is brought to you by seagulls wearing suspenders selling 6 shades. Mine?
Fuck yeah. Oh god. Very good, very good. This episode of Dude Absolutely is brought to you by Lil Wayne's Truffle Butter Burgers. It's an acquired taste.
You could really lean into the flavor.
Can you imagine? Hey, Lil Wheezy, Truffle Butter Burger.
Just
Truffle butter on your pussy.
comes with a side of codeine.
That's why it was crazy that the fucking... Okay.
Okay. Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to do this. Speaking of overdosing on codeine, before you overdose...
That laugh made me fart.
Okay. Speaking of overdosing on codeine, before you choose to overdose, make sure that you pick up some life insurance from our friends at Garth Brooks and Jeff Foxworthy's Lightning and Thunder Life Insurance. It's a real barn burner over there at the office.
I was gonna write, when the thunder rolls, you might be dead.
Here's your sign.
See, but that's Bill Engvall.
I know. You might be a redneck if here's your sign. What
Tater salad.
Yeah, tater salad was Ron White. That's
Oh,
tough.
yeah.
Tough. I mean, to have, first of all, to have the worst catchphrase out of those 4 choices. Sheesh.
Isn't it funny though that like hands down, not even close, the best comic out of all of them is Ron fucking White.
Oh yeah,
Like
he is for sure.
He like they still try to do stand up.
Yeah,
Not even close.
Nobody sells more seats though than Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah.
I read somewhere that he sold out Madison Square Garden for a week.
Are you shitting me? Madison Square Garden?
Yeah, he like only does arenas.
But New York does not seem like that would be his fucking lane.
Yeah,
that's
but
so weird.
I feel like upstate, like he would. I mean, where is he? I mean, he could do an arena in like Buffalo, but like Albany and whatever, like
yeah.
you know. Maybe it wasn't MSG. Maybe it was somewhere else, and I'm just like making that up. But
Riley, I feel bad. You want to come have a seat, you fucking loser? Hi, Kim Duke.
Hey, Chris Duke.
Today's episode, we are excited to announce a new sponsor. Today's episode is brought to you by BetterHelp.com.
I'm excited about this sponsor because, especially with COVID going on, there's a lack of mental health resources out there. A lot of people aren't able to get to their therapist, or their therapists are booked out. And so with BetterHelp.com, it's really nice because it's all, you can either do a video chat, you can do direct messaging, you can do telephone calls and all that where you don't have to see someone in person. And then when you do the algorithm online, they will pick therapists for you. And I've met with a lot of patients who talk about how they cannot find a therapist for them, and they have gone through lots of different therapists. And I've had patients that come in the ER and they're asking for, I want a therapist that specializes in this and this and this. And basically I have a piece of paper I can hand them and say, all right, there you go. Try and figure out which place has those type of therapists. So,
And it's very nice. As you're filling out the information, you can watch the website calculate and find these people for you. There's thousands of counselors.
over 4,000.
Thousands. Yeah, it's insane. And one thing that is important to me as well, obviously my sobriety. And they have a plethora of LADCs, or licensed drug and alcohol counselors. So go to betterhelp.com/DDGD. That is the acronym for the podcast. Obviously, Duck, Duck, Grey Duke. Again, that's betterhelp.com/DDGD. Enjoy the show.
all right, we doing premises?
Yeah.
All right, you got one?
I do.
All right, let's hear yours first.
You want me to go first? Okay. So I walked into Subway today, and before I go into Subway, there's a big fucking sign that says masks required. Something must, like fabric must be covering your face, something to that effect. Big fucking sign. I walk in, 2 dudes, no fucking masks. On top of that, on the tables, there's signs that say masks. It's everywhere. Construction worker is the guy that's in front of me with no mask. And I was like, nice. And he goes, what? I go, oh, I'm just glad you're not wearing a mask. He's like, why are you glad I'm not wearing a mask? I go, because I wouldn't be able to see your cute face if you were wearing a mask. And I give him a little winky wink and a kiss kiss. And so that's how you get people to wear masks, is gay panic.
Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah. I was wondering where that was going. That's a good line.
Yeah.
Nice. I don't have any notes.
Yeah, right?
It's a good misdirection one-liner.
That's kind of what I thought. I was like, it came to mind.
Right.
I didn't have to write it down even. It's right there. But I mean, not the, obviously the interaction didn't happen. Although I am going to fucking do that the next time it happens. Because I thought about it when I was leaving my car. Because construction workers is a big tough guy, and I didn't want him to fuck me in that Subway.
I wanted to fuck me outside the Subway.
Yeah.
But, all right. So the last time I flew, I was getting on the plane.
Boy, are your arms tired.
Yeah. Woof. Such a douche. So the last time I flew, I was getting on the plane. I was like walking down the first part of the plane so it wasn't one that had a separate first class and then, fucking.
You mean like sectioned off?
Yeah. Like there wasn't like business class and first class. It was just like all one lane or whatever.
Yeah.
And as I'm walking in, it was like somebody was sitting down from like the second row. And I heard him like grunt and then was like, I thought I paid for the big comfy seat. And I was like, oh, what? You know, like what the fuck are they? So I go to my seat, whatever, and then they have like the pamphlets in the back of the seats that like explain the fucking, you know, all the planes they have and all the whatever. So like I opened it up and I was like looking at all this, you know, just had nothing else to do. And in there listed, it had the big comfy seat. And I was like, that's fucking brilliant, right? Because when I walked past that guy and I heard him complaining about the big comfy seat, I was like, what a fucking child that man is. Yeah. Like, grow up. You're an adult, right? The big comfy seat. But it turns out you can order or pay for the big comfy seat on Delta, which is perfect because anytime anyone complains, they immediately sound like a child.
They literally listed it as
the big comfy seat.
Oh my God.
It's brilliant.
That's hilarious.
Because you can't complain and sound serious at the same time. Excuse me, ma'am. I thought I paid for the big comfy seat. Oh, did you want the... What else did I write here?
Did you want the comfy wumpy blanket?
Yeah. Did you want a warm, cozy blanket with that? Like, you know, it's perfect. You can't complain.
God damn it. That's really funny.
You sound like a fucking idiot if you do.
It does. It sounds like a PBS, like, fucking Sesame Street type of... Like a Sesame Street character explaining to kids that are about to go on a plane for the first time.
Right.
And then you get to sit in a big comfy seat.
Right. And they give you a cozy, wozy blankie.
And then Cookie Monster pops up and he's got cocaine all over his face.
He's like, hey, they got free cookies if the flight's long enough. Like, cookie. Yeah, so that's my premise for the week.
I like it. I like that idea of like what other amenities in life can you make sound fucking childish like that?
Right. Well, it's like the perfect defense for whatever company it is.
Oh, excuse me. I ordered the not too hot soup.
Right. Excuse me, Arby's? My roast beef is missing from my meat mountain, and I really could use some roast beef on this. Sir, it's a mountain of meat. You're going to be okay. Actually, I'm pretty sure you're not going to be okay. I think you're going to die.
He's going to die.
Right.
For sure.
Have you seen a meat mountain before?
I mean, every morning.
Okay, so lose weight because you talk about your belly. It's more Appalachian than it is Rocky, but
right.
It's a rounder top, but
yeah.
I'm serious though. Have you seen a meat mountain from Arby's?
Yeah,
it's horrifying.
Of course.
Yeah, your blood pressure goes up from looking at it. You're like, okay, that's.
Have you know what's fucking rad about Arby's though? Bronco sauce.
Never had it.
Oh,
I like their Arby's sauce.
It's like this raspberry.
Oh, that sounds dumb as hell. Just kidding. It sounds good.
It's very good.
Yeah.
And I dip it.
It's like at 7-Eleven you can get a big gulp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, sir, my big gulp cup is broken. Oh, is it? Do you need your big swirly straw?
The sign says that if you buy 6 big gulps, your mega gulp is free.
Oh, I read that wrong. It's actually an ultra gulp, but
what about like how could you apply that in like the medical field? Or what if you just started calling like the anatomy stuff? Like, I went to the vagina doctor today to get my vagina checked out. And it turns out I don't have a vagina.
You could call like an enema like a shithole shooter?
Yeah.
Or like a
kitty scan.
A kitty scan?
Yeah.
You could call a catheter a cocksucker.
So anyways, they're siphoning my cock.
Can you imagine if that was the medical, like, the actual, like, process? Like, all right, let's get this thing started. We're gonna put some numbing agent on your penis so this doesn't hurt.
We're gonna put some tingly stuff on your pee-pee.
And then they fucking slide it in, and you know they have to fucking wiggle it. There's no way it goes straight in.
Yeah.
And then the nurse has to be like, I fucking hate my job. All right. And then they just put it into a bucket below the bed.
Ma'am, are you the one that's going to be siphoning my cock?
It's like not a bedpan.
I am actually just a phlebotomist. I didn't go to school for siphoning cock.
Did you?
There is a specialist coming, though.
Did you ever watch Trailer Park Boys?
Very little.
Okay, so there's an episode in like season 10, I think, where Ricky smokes.
Ricky's the hot one, right?
No, that'd be Julian.
Julian. There we
Yeah.
go.
But he gains a lot of weight over the course of the show.
Yeah.
It's like actually a bit. But so Ricky drinks like a bunch of these like weed drinks that he makes with Snoop Dogg, and he drinks too many of them, and then he gets like super fucked up. And then Leahy shows up, and Leahy's like hammered, and he shoots Ricky, and then Ricky goes into a coma. And so they're like in the hospital, and Ricky's daughter is getting married. And they wanted to have Ricky at the wedding, so they like laid a tuxedo on top of him while he's like in the hospital bed. And they're like about to do the wedding, and this nurse comes in, he's got his headphones in, and they're like, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, "Sorry, I got to change out his bedpan real quick. We were gonna do a catheter, but this guy has a huge urethra." And then that's like the whole scene. It's one of the funniest fucking things. Oh, and then they like start smoking joints to like pay respects to Ricky, and and Ricky's heart starts beating again. Like he starts getting brain activity.
That's really
They
funny.
revive him with weed.
You know what? I didn't even realize. So like, speaking of penises and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So obviously, History Hyenas I've been watching, and I'm devouring
It's
it.
great. Yeah,
I didn't realize the pseudo penis thing.
Yeah.
They must have found out about that shit like the same time that I did. Because I have that joke about hyenas.
Oh yeah. Well, so
And I listened back onto recordings of me doing that on stage.
right.
And I was like, they call it a pseudo penis.
Right.
I was like, holy shit. We've been on the same fucking wavelength.
That's what, dude. I've brought that up to you before, like the hyena joke that you have, and like how they talk about how the hyena is the greatest animal because a female hyena can fucking grow a dick.
That's insane.
I know.
And I forgot.
I don't know. Probably.
I forgot.
There was a window of time in your life where you forgot literally everything. So
That's true.
and that was about when I started watching the show. It's so fucking funny. God, it's a
I
good
wish they
show.
were better with the
Have you been
continuity.
watching Conspiracy Cuties? That's the best thing they do, I think.
Yeah.
First of all, the song that they have at the beginning of that is awesome because they just
Yeah.
basically trap mixed fucking theme song for
I just
the
like
X
when it goes,
Files.
yeah.
Have you seen their RuPaul episode?
Yeah.
Fantastic episode. And they do
Fucking
do
great.
the work it girl thing.
Yeah.
So fucking funny.
Yeah.
Their RuPaul episode is
What is it? They're
incredible.
like 30% of their fans are transgender.
That's what they say. Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's not true, but
No, I know.
yeah. But then their most recent one was like about the original like white guy that pretended to be a black guy. Like it was like the very first one ever. Basically, it was like from the 1800s, and like there was like this whole like I forget what his
Clarence
name
King.
is. Yeah. So like his name was Clarence King when he was white, and he was like a fucking banker, but like he fell in love with a black lady, and back then, like they didn't want white people to be with black people, so like instead he like got a perm and then like faked being a black guy, so that he could marry this woman, and he like eventually was like found out or something, but then he like
No. He admitted it on his deathbed.
that's what it was, yeah. And then they like weren't gonna let her have the money that he left him because of this whole like race thing.
Yep.
And then she like finally won the case and got the money.
Well, do you remember how they got her some of the money?
Oh no.
So his friend was able to, like the inheritor. This guy was able to get that money and was giving her as much as he could from when they would win.
Okay. So yeah, that was
Fucking wild story.
Yeah. But then they like talk about Sean King and like
That fucking guy.
Sean King, who is not he is not black.
Yeah.
But
repeat again, not a black guy.
right, yeah.
Which when I first saw his picture, I was like, oh, that's cool that this white guy is like really for
I
black
know,
rights.
it's like you can't
That's literally the first thing I thought.
I know. And then you're like,
Until they
Oh.
brought it up, I was like, I had no idea that he was claiming to be a black guy.
right, he does. He claims he's like a quarter black or half black or something, but like it's a quarter black because his mom's dad was black, is what he says.
No. his mom cheated on
That's
his
what it is.
dad
Yeah, with a black
with
guy.
a black guy.
Yeah, so he's
is
half
what he
black.
claims.
Right, but his mom's dead, so like you
and
can't.
His words, his mom had an affair with a very light-skinned black guy.
It's like the LaCroix.
Yeah. He is the LaCroix of black. Yeah,
Holy shit, that's
really
good.
good. All right, dude. Same time next week.
No, because I gotta say words.
Oh.
Okay,
This isn't very great, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Okay.
that's fair.
You know, you hear about people that like they have like a religious thing and they try to reinstate their virginity.
Oh yeah.
Or whatever
like being
bullshit
born
reason.
again, kind
But
of.
I think I have successfully done so physically, like legitly.
You totally have
Because I have totally had sex, but then I rearranged the
machine.
Yeah, I finished the basement. And I actually came up with it because it's not like I'm not technically a virgin. Obviously, I've had sex, so I came
Right.
up with a different word for it because for the technicality,
Okay.
vaginity.
Yes, that's fucking brilliant. I don't even know how funny that is. This is genius.
That's the beauty of a joke like that is the fucking fascination
Right.
of all of this shit you're learning and going, because it's so easy to connect the dots. So it's like it's an amazing thing that people don't think about,
Right.
and it's so easy to get on board with.
Well, it's the closest to the truth that you can actually
And yeah,
get
exactly.
with it, right?
And it's the truth.
Right, and which is the thing that makes me that gets me the most about it is like how deep that is, because the people who are often like reclaiming their virginity are people who are very devout religious people, and those people don't particularly agree with the vaginity style. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, hey, you wanna get that virginity back, you're gonna have to transition, you know? And they're like, but I'll go to hell. And you're like, well, you wanna fucking get the card back, you gotta play by our rules. So that's funny as hell.
God,
Well done.
that's so awesome.
And that's such a unique perspective. Like that joke is like you can. It's like you have like you have like the past to use a joke like that. You know,
Well, it's the classic like.
that's a life experience joke. That's like
successful comics always talk about that. You have to talk about the things that are unique to you.
right.
Like they're 100%.
Whether it's your
story.
perspective on something that other people have a perspective on, or it's like real life experience that
Yeah.
speaks volumes about who you are.
Yeah,
Wow.
those stories.
Well, you're gonna have to get back, or you're gonna have to get on stage. I'm telling you, you got.
That's
Next
terrifying.
next week, I'll be going to. Well, so when this comes out tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, I'll be at the Keller open mic.
You're going.
I'm going because on November 5th, your boy is competing in the funniest person in Minneapolis contest.
I've never done a contest.
I know.
Never gonna.
I heard about that.
I don't want people to tell me that they think I'm
But
funny.
this is Sisyphus. It's different because it's your friends and you don't feel jaded.
Yeah, but I'm way too competitive.
But remember the POC
Yeah.
show that we did?
Yeah.
It's just like that.
Except at the POC thing, I
But if you
immediately after getting off stage was like, all right, who was I better than?
Really?
How's it judged?
That's just how I am.
How's it judged?
Yeah.
If you're,
Number of
No.
guffaws.
I don't.
Someone's just got a tally.
I actually don't know
I think
who's
they
judging
have-
it.
I think they-
Grant Winkles.
Is a judge?
Yeah. He's like helping put it on and
Yeah.
and running
Is
the thing.
Khadijah a judge too?
I don't know.
She should be.
I didn't hear her, but
Unless she's in it. If she's in it, should win.
yeah. Khadijah Cooper.
She's so fucking funny. I've never heard somebody at her level of experience be able to not only write but also riff and work the crowd better than she is. Miles ahead of everybody in the scene as far as crowd work goes. I mean,
And
she just has the crowd in the palm of her fucking hand every time she's on stage. It's like
Because
I get like envious. I'm like, you could literally not tell jokes and you would kill because you're so fucking good at working the crowd.
and you can tell that she's a good like person.
Right. Yeah. That's part of it.
Yeah.
It's like, I would say it's half the battle is just getting people to like you. And like, she doesn't even have to try. She just goes up there and like smiles and laughs, and like people immediately are like, "Oh, you're awesome." And I want you to succeed. And then she's couple that with being legit funny. Mm-hmm. And then you've got, I mean, she's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I maybe one day I'll do the contest, but I don't have any.
Well, I'm just thinking of it as
motivation.
like
it's a good way to get back on stage.
Yes, exactly. But that crowd there is always so good that like and any excuse to be able to perform in that setting, I'm fucking game for.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Oh, and your boy shot the We Cool podcast live. And dude, when we shot that, it made me we'll talk about this off air, but it was a blast. Check that out. Shit gets real dicey at one point. The crowd almost turned on them. So
really,
fucking tune in. It's pretty great. Grant does not give any ground, and I was so proud of him. Fucking stood his ground, did the bit, and was like, you know what? I'm not done with the bit, and I'm gonna go a little bit further. It was fucking great.
That's awesome.
So We Cool podcast. Obviously subscribe on all the things. We're gonna get a fucking Patreon on here soon because I want to do unedited shit and let it fucking ride sometimes.
Yeah, let it rip.
Yeah,
because you know what? We're bad boys. We say naughty stuff.
You know, we're a little gay.
Yeah, I mean, everybody is. It's a spectrum, dude. It's a fucking bell curve. That's my favorite. One of my favorite pictures of all time is me literally.
Hey, and the guy who fucking took the picture is here.
Yeah, it's me literally coddling you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a hug. That's a.
Oh yeah. What's your OnlyFans account?
Sad Daddy 666.
If you want to see a 666 dick, head on over there. Your boy is.
You should change the name to Dickum Down Jones. I just think that's funny.
I like it. Riley Downs photo on everything.
Twitter's fuck Riley Downs.
Fuck Riley Downs on Twitter. Well, and then Riley Downs photo.
Professional on Instagram, myself on Twitter.
Yeah. Riley's dope as fuck, and I love him to death. And we're gonna shoot a wedding and get COVID, and start sending in brought to you buys.
Yeah, we need your help, and also like it's more fun when other people.
Yeah, and I know we talked about it at the beginning of the show. All of these episodes are now sponsored by BetterHelp.com. Go to BetterHelp.com/DDGD. The most important thing in the world is your mental health. I feel like you can't tackle the day unless you're in a good place mentally. So get on over there, support the podcast, and help yourself by getting some professional help. They have all kinds of different counselors, whether you're dealing with addiction, depression, if you're on the spectrum, they've got all of these things. So go and do that stuff. And I love you.
I just wanted to stare at you and just watch you like continue trying to fill airtime.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened there. It was just like all right, so they have like a lot of, and
I'll splice back and forth, and it'll just get tighter and tighter on your eyes.
Oh, man. All right, same time next week?
Dude, absolutely.